That's fine. Uh, okay, how did you feel? How do you think it was?
Oh, you're interviewing me.
Well, I no, I also want to give my 2 cents. You know, as a guy,
Okay.
number one fan, tattooed it. Um, but no,
Okay. Okay.
I want to give my 2 cents, but I also want to hear other people's 2 cents, because
Okay.
you know you might have.
So it was good. It was emotional. I feel like he was very,
Mhm.
very at my heart.
Okay, is that what you feel? Uh,
That's what I feel. I feel sad.
really?
Yeah, because like I couldn't imagine everybody. That's like my biggest fear in life is outliving all of my friends and family. So like waking up one day and just boom, everybody that I knew and loved is gone. Yeah, fuck that. That's
Wow,
suicide waiting to happen.
that's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point.
What?
That's a really good point. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I can hear you. I
Okay.
just had to make you repeat it because I wanted to hear it again.
Robin said you're a bitch. That's all.
I don't know what that means.
Me?
No, no.
Allie.
Oh,
Why
I
am
was
I?
like, I don't even fucking know Robin. She can eat a dick.
Anyway,
But if that's not the case, then I'm sorry I said that.
no, it's fine. Okay. No, Robin is just this guy who's he's army. He's a nice kid. He's not the smartest tool in the shed, but he's a nice kid. Um. Anyway, uh, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. First of all, you're right. That is a nightmare. You know, outliving your friends.
Yeah,
Also, bro, and this is I like I said at the beginning of the show, I was like, I'm probably gonna find a bunch of mistakes, and I found few mistakes, but more so I have worries than mistakes. Um, but one, I don't know, should I start with the good or the bad? Because they made it brutal, dude. They burned the guy alive. That was amazing.
Burned several people alive. Weren't you watching?
Of course, no, I know, but I'm saying at the very beginning of the show, he just literally grabbed his hand and burned him alive. Obviously, yeah, in the show, like they had scorch marks on people's chests and stuff. But at the beginning, like he held them and burned them, which, by the way, amazing because the original show was for kids, so obviously they can't really do that.
yeah.
But like, that was amazing. I actually was like, whoa, they are brutal. I'm surprised this isn't like rated R. Is it? I don't even know. Like, it's that was a
Probably rated M for mature.
no. It's probably like 14 plus, dude. I don't think they
PG. Yeah, PG.
PG. Oh, PG 13, right?
No, just
No,
PG.
just TV PG.
Oh, okay. So that's like what parental guidance, but maybe you should be
At
careful.
any age.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was really good. Like, because the funny thing is, don't get me wrong, I love the original show. Like, I'm gonna make my kids and grandchildren watch the original show. But the problem with the original show was that because it was for kids, you know, firebenders, you know, obviously they do more damage than just poof, you know, like so that's why they went all out. They burnt like you saw the burn marks on people's chests. You saw like the guy burned. Mwah, bravo. That was the one thing they did better than the show. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, there was two things, but in terms of bad, I'm really worried they're gonna make it like a girl power thing. Like so far, they did a good job. Like so far, they did a really good job. I'm actually curious what Alyssa thinks, but like when it comes to like the original show, they had a really good job when it comes to like the girl power because in the original show, they literally had the water tribe, you know, have a sexist culture where they don't allow women to be warriors, while the Fire Nation allowed whoever was good to be part of the soldiers. So if you were a woman or a man,
Yeah.
whatever, as long as you're powerful, and that was kind of a subtle way because like you wonder like how is the Fire Nation so strong? It's because yeah, they don't care if you're man, woman. They care if you're strong and you can burn. So that itself is a beautiful message. That's like a message of equality. Like it's literally like the Fire Nation doesn't care. They just want you to be strong. While the Water Tribe's like, no, women can't. So that was a beautiful message. Like they didn't shove sexism down your throat. They actually like showed it. While this, again, so far was good. But the fact that they showed Avatar Kyoshi a little bit more than they showed everybody else, I'm like, okay, why are they doing that? Like, Avatar Kyoshi is not the most important. Like, it's literally Aang, and the previous Avatar was Roku. I mean, Kyoshi matters, but Kyoshi's story isn't connected to the current 100-year war. Like, I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know why they focused Kyoshi a little bit. So I have a bad feeling they might go a little female power. I don't know. Alyssa, you there?
So I never watched the anime.
You mean the cartoon?
Or yeah, other version.
Oh. So how do you know about the show then?
Like, I remember I watched like a couple of episodes right when it came out. Like when I was younger, way younger. But I haven't watched it since.
Okay. But you remember?
So like everything that I'm watching about it is like it's like I'm watching it for the first time.
Interesting. Well, okay. Do you remember anything about like? Do you remember Roku? Avatar Roku.
No.
Really? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Then you know what? You'd make a good person to bounce off of because you literally aren't like a hardcore fanboy like me, so you can actually critique it from just the show perspective. You know what I mean? Like I'm a autistic fanboy who's gonna like obsess over every detail.
Yeah, like the storyline and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so but you're still a human. Did you feel any girl power thing or no? Right? Like the first episode seemed normal, or did you feel any girl power? Like how did you see?
No, it definitely seemed normal.
Okay, good. I felt that too. Like it looked normal, but I was just a tiny bit worried that in the future episodes, there's gonna be a little Kyoshi shit. That's another good thing. They had hybrid animals. That was really good. Like you saw like chickens that also had heads of foxes. I don't know if you saw at the beginning. Like they actually did that really well.
Yeah.
And also the Fire Lord saying that was a cool thing. The Fire Lord, because in the original show, the Fire Nation literally takes on all the other nations, right? And
Yeah.
you wonder how did they beat one nation versus everybody. That sounds but they did a really good job with showing, oh hey Coco, I'm live streaming on YouTube right now, so just letting you know.
I'll tell everybody my social security card number, my address, and
You should actually, considering I have like 100 subscribers or 300 subscribers. But anyway, we just finished watching the first episode of the live action.
oh, is it the new one or is it like the M. Night Shyamalan?
No, it's not. And I've actually never watched the M. Night Shyamalan one.
Good, don't do it.
I know, I heard horrible things. But anyway, like as I was saying, you should watch it too. I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I plan to.
I'm watching the first episode. Like we just finished the first episode, and we're talking about it right now. But obviously, it's not any big spoiler because you do know it's the same show. Like they're not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did they? Okay, so far did they do it any justice? Like on a scale, like what would you say? Like is it being done justice or is it like atrocious?
well, that's actually the funny thing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They did a decent job.
Okay.
They started pre-genocide. So they literally started before. Yeah. So that was smart of them. That was really good. So at the
Yeah.
literally at the first episode, which is all I watched, so I'm not gonna spoil everything, but like the first minute of the first episode, you hear the Fire Lord talk about the air nomads and the Fire Nation, and sorry, the Water Tribes and the Earth Kingdom, and you're like, wait, why is he talking about the air nomads? Wasn't there like a genocide? Like, and then you realize, wait, this isn't the present day because, you know,
Yeah, this is like
yeah,
that's cool. I like that.
I like that too. Yeah, that's the like. So look at the beginning, like listen, they started with that. That's really good. They have the hybrid animals. That's really good. They did. They did the sound. Okay, the effects and the sound design. Mwah. I don't know. How did you feel, Beard? Did you like the effects?
I liked it. Yeah, it was good.
Wait, what are you watching it on?
An illegal website that you shouldn't mention out loud right now. But
Okay.
yeah. Anyway. See, this is one of the good. It's actually a good thing that I'm not famous because I literally would have just admitted. If I was famous, I would have just admitted it. So I'm glad I'm not famous.
I'm clipping it. I'm clipping it.
Good. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm recording. And then wait. Let me see the cunning. Oh yeah, they made it. They also had a. I took so many notes. They had a. Do you ever wonder like how did the Fire Nation pretty much take on all three other nations, right? And
So I had actually wondered that before you gave me the answer. I do watch like other YouTube channels that like are theory channels besides like film theory. I also watch Super Carlin Brothers and a few other people, but like there were some theories that were talked about as to like how the Fire Nation even like accomplished even just taking down like the air nomads. Like first of all, like they would have to take 4 highly coordinated attacks.
wait. What's it?
Uh, what?
Okay, no, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, continue. Go ahead. How
So-
did they take on the other nation? I was checking if the
Well-
stream, if the live stream was working.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, so they would have to take 4 coordinated attacks, right? Like, so there's 4 air temples that the Fire Nation would have had to attack simultaneously on the same day in order to wipe out all of the air nomads. And so, like, first of all, 3 of the 4 air temples were, like, really high up, and that it was said that you can't get there without, like, a flying bison. And back in those days, like, the Fire Nation didn't have the ability to fly. I mean, except for the very specialized firebenders who had, like, the technique to, like, fly using their fire projecting themselves like a rocket, but like they wouldn't be able to do that with a whole army. Like so it's like how did they get up there?
Actually, the
So
answer
the
to that
theory-
is simple. Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. Because that one, I think the show answered it. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The theory was that they used the dragons to fly and like drop off the troops onto the air nomad temples. Was that like what? Like was that what they showed?
Oh
in the show?
shit. Okay, that's a negative. They didn't have dragons in the show. Oh, that's a. Oh no.
The Fire Lord of that time when the attack happened had a dragon. Like
I know they did. No, no.
I think his name was Sozin.
Bro, that's a plot hole.
Sozin.
Oh my god, that's actually a plot hole because just so you know, I found no plot hole. Like they actually and bro, listen, I've seen every episode of the show at least 6 times. I wrote a book about the show that's like 30 pages long. I've tattooed look at this, I've tattooed the Fire Nation on me. Like I'm obsessed with this show, okay?
Yeah, I love Avatar.
And here's the thing, I'm very critical of everything they did, and when it comes to the bad stuff, I have nothing on dragons. That's actually a really good point. They didn't have dragons, but they did. Let me see. Okay, what they did do. So they didn't have okay. Don't forget, it was Sozin's comet, right?
Right.
So when the Sozin's comet is happening, guess what? You can fly. Like that was explained in the show. Whenever like everybody, the Fire Nation had, you know, tenfold power.
Right.
And that's why. So they literally flew to the temples, and to me that made perfect sense, because they literally.
Yeah.
You saw, right? Remember Trenton? Like they literally flew on the
Right,
temples.
right. That's what that was like the secondary like theory was like they could have theoretically did that, but like the idea behind flying with firebending wasn't necessarily about like the power. It was about the technique that they needed to learn. And that's
Sure.
like that at least from the show, like because when that one guy, what was his name? Like the crazy old firebender that like could fly. I
Oh,
forgot his
John
name.
John. John John.
Yeah, that guy. Like he was when he flew it was by the technique that he did, or not really by like how powerful of a bender you were. It was about the technique that you could learn.
Sure.
And so
And
when
you know, do me a favor. You should watch the first episode because I think there were some shots of dragons burning the temple, but mostly I saw the soldiers flying. I don't know, Trenton. Did you see dragons?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I don't think I did, but I did see like
yeah,
flying like
what's
fireballs.
what's interesting about the dragons
Yeah.
thing though, like the theory that the guy had about the dragons delivering the troops is that the dragons didn't attack the temples. Like in the anime, the dragons like the theory if the dragons were used to fly up there, the dragons didn't directly attack the temples themselves because the temples themselves were still intact. Like the buildings weren't destroyed, like nothing was like broken per se. It was just the people that were attacked. And so like
No, no, some building. Come on, if you rewatch the first what is it, the third episode called Southern Air Temple.
yeah.
Literally, look how nerd I literally named you the third. You see the temple's kind of broken
Yeah, the
ish.
temples I mean there's like the natural decay over time, right? But like they weren't necessarily like obliterated, you know? Like they weren't like if a dragon attacked the buildings, they'd be absolutely decimated.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. What you said though. Okay, here's the funny thing. So the theory is correct. Like they would have dropped off troops. But here's the other issue. If the Fire Nation is suddenly attacking, like let's say like our world right now was like there was only 4 countries, right? There was only 4 countries. There was
Right.
I don't want to nominate any 4 countries, but let's just say there was 4 countries. No, here. Okay, you know what? The only 4 countries in the world was U.S., Russia, China, and Iran. Those are the only 4 countries. Anyway,
Okay.
and if U.S. decides to like attack all 3 other countries and genocide, okay, this is I don't want to use this example on YouTube. Never mind. Just let's just if the U.S. Let's just say yeah. So let's say the Fire Nation was genociding the Air Nation. That's a better example. If the Fire Nation was genocide, wouldn't the other 2 countries in the world be like, "Yo, what's going on? They're attacking. Let's help them." The show answered that at the very beginning by because don't forget in the show they attack an Earth village first before they go to genocide the Air Nation. Remember, they attack an Earth village. I remember when they attacked the Earth village and Avatar Roku was like, "How dare you attack an Earth King?" Like, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Exactly. So in the show, literally at the first 5 minutes of the show, that's why I'm like, it's not a spoiler because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
literally
yeah.
in the first 5 minutes of the show you see this. There's an
Okay.
Earthbender, which by the way, the effects with the Earthbender look really good. Like,
Okay.
like he was bending the earth, he was moving. Like, bro, they actually like. I'm hoping they make a joke about M Night Shyamalan and saying, "You think it takes 5 of us to throw a rock?" You know what I mean? I hope they make a joke like that.
That would
Because
be so good.
that would be good because no, it literally one guy was like moving the earth and just pushing it, punching them. It was beautiful. Like they did a really good job. But at the beginning, they had a plan. So this like Earth soldier was giving his like he took a scroll from the Fire Nation and gave it to his friend.
Yeah.
So his friend takes it to the Earth King, and the Fire Nation was chasing him and trying to fight him. And guess what? The Fire Lord said, "Oh, I'm glad he found our plan." Because like the Earth guy was like, "Oh yeah, I know your plan. You're gonna attack this Earth village," and now everybody knows. And the Fire Lord was like, "I'm glad they said that because now all the countries in the world are gonna focus on the Earth Nation." And he's like, "Okay, yeah. So what?" He's like, "I'm glad, and that means everyone's gonna send their soldiers and healers and whatever." He's like, "Yeah," and then the Fire Lord was like, "Good." And then he literally took the guy and burned him alive, dude. The show's it was brutal. No, like they. I'm surprised it's not rated R because they burned. But anyway, and that's why it was good because in the show, like the politics of the globe, there was like, oh, the water tribes are sending help to the Earth Kingdom. The air nomads are prepared. The Earth Nation, or sorry, the Earth Kingdom is like preparing, like sending all their soldiers to defend. And you're like, wait, what's going on? And then the Fire Nation goes and kills the air nomads, even though the whole world thinks that the Fire Nation is planning an attack on the Earth Kingdom, but they go that way. That was their cunning. Do you get it now? Like that's how the Fire Nation was able to start the war. Did I explain that, Barbara?
Yes, that makes sense.
So like the whole world literally thought that they were going to attack the Earth. So the whole world, literally, the water tribes sent troops to help the Earth, because obviously, like, the whole world is like, we don't want one country to kill everyone. Let's, defend.
Did
But
they show Monkey Gyatso or whatever his
Yeah.
name was, Gyatso, and like how he died?
Yes, and okay. First of all, Trenton, do you remember Monkey Gyatso dying when he was protecting the children?
Yeah.
How was it?
So
Wait, no, because Trenton hasn't watched the show, because that's why I like. Yeah. How do you think it was?
Which- How do I think it was?
Yeah, did you think it was? Because you said the show, was emotional. Like,
I think it was mean.
huh?
I think it was mean. It was not very nice what he did.
Wow.
It was pretty good. It was I liked the how when they were fighting in the room,
Mm-hmm.
like the quality of how it looked. Yes, usually with live actions, it's not realistic looking, but it looked I don't know, it looks good.
Yeah, he's right. It did look realistic. But here's my issue, though. Even though he's right, it looked good, it looked mean, and the quality was. My only issue is, and this is a very small nitpick, but it's kind of like, to me. Okay, do you know who killed Gyatso Coco? Do you know who they made kill Gyatso?
No, but my assumption based off of the scenery, right?
Yeah.
Because when in the anime when they find his body, he's surrounded by loads of Fire Nation bodies as well. It's just him by himself in the room, surrounded by a bunch of dead Fire Nation soldiers.
Yes.
And so I was I'm assuming, right, that there's one of two things have happened there. Either the Fire Nation people did a kamikaze where they killed either the leader probably sacrificed their troops as a means to nuke the area and make sure that they killed Gyatso, but the other option was that Gyatso himself could have just taken all of the air out of the room and just killed everybody in that one moment.
That would have been cool, but I think the show, was again didn't want to make the air nomads look too brutal. But
Yeah.
so okay, the way they did make Gyatso really strong, and which obviously he's one of the best. But my only issue is they made Fire Lord Sozin himself kill Gyatso. So to me, that's kind of like because the real life doesn't work. That's like World War II. Who's president of America? Roosevelt. That's
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's like the President Roosevelt shooting Hitler. No, that's not. You know what I mean? That's
Although I will say it's not necessarily out of character for the Fire Nation to do it themselves, right? Because they want to be the one with the glory. They want to be the one with the history writing their name for what they did and what they accomplished.
No, I agree. Fire Nation is kind of you could say, Napoleon, where Napoleon himself literally led, or George Washington, he himself was in the battle. That makes
Exactly.
sense. No, that makes sense. I'm not saying that was a bad thing. My only issue is that they made him be the guy who kills Gyatso. That's a little too much of a coincidence. Really, the Fire Lord killed Aang's bestest friend. You know what I mean? It's a little too much quinky dink. You know what I mean? I don't mind the fact that they had the Fire Lord kill airbenders. That was great. That was actually realistic. But you know what I mean? He's the exact person that killed Aang's friend. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's Fire Lord Sozin, right? So
Yes, Fire Lord.
there's Fire Lord Ozai, I think, is the one that Aang is supposed to
Fight.
have a problem with later, 100 years later. But for Sozin to have done that, I think it actually makes sense because Sozin is a very powerful firebender, and it would have probably taken somebody like Sozin to take on Gyatso in the first place. Because like, I don't see Gyatso being taken down by like some simple soldiers, even if they have like the Sozin's comic buff.
That's a smart point. Holy shit. You're right.
Because like air is genuinely like, okay, most people would think that water is like the counter to firebending, but like no, like airbending is absolutely the counter to firebending because they don't need
It's
to
not.
like
It's not.
quench. Well, no, it is because like fire needs air to breathe, and if you just remove the air, like there's no fire. So like,
Dude, when you watch the show, you'll notice like, fans make flames stronger, right? Like that's a famous
right,
quote
right,
from
like
Azula.
you could amplify, yeah, you could amplify fire with air, right?
Yeah.
But like that's the point is that if you remove the air from the area, right? Like
I know.
there
I,
can be
I
no
have a
fire.
I know what you mean. What's up?
question. They would have to make a vacuum in
Yeah,
order for
exactly.
that
Yeah.
effective. Can they? Can they make a vacuum out of nothing?
They
I don't know,
can.
like the
They
extent of their
can.
power.
It's been okay. So in the Legend of Korra, there was a
Ew.
person who,
Don't.
Here.
yeah, Zahir. He gained airbending, and he had the
Yes.
ability, like he created a vacuum around a person's head and just
Mm.
suffocated them to death.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
could do that.
So they absolutely could.
But anyway, no.
And
But
I would imagine that that kind of technique is not necessarily out of the reach of somebody like Monkey Atsu, right? Like,
right. Well, okay. I'm gonna actually remove the negative point I made about it's like Roosevelt being the one who shoots Hitler because you're right.
okay.
Because it does make sense. It takes someone powerful. That was a really good point. Someone powerful like Sozin to take on Gyatso because Gyatso the best airbender, and
Right.
yeah, that's a fair point actually. So yeah, so Sozin kills Gyatso, and yeah, it was a brutal scene. They did a really good job with that. They even like because the show kind of did a bad job explaining how like oh yeah, the Fire Nation started a war. They literally took on one country took on the other three countries of the whole world, and they're doing really well. That's always like I don't want to say a plot hole, but it's always like how's if there's four countries equally strong, how's one
Right.
country
Right.
able to?
Right.
So they did a really good job because they actually made the entire global like thing, send their troops to the Earth Kingdom just for the Fire Nation to go there. That was genius. That was actually like okay, that seems like something the Fire Nation would do. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. True. 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 So
manipulate.
there was also like the theory that was talking about like the Fire Nation and how they like coordinated their stuff, like the theory video I watched. It also mentioned like why did the Fire Nation like 40 years after they attack like okay, I'm sorry if I give you spoilers. Should I like
No, it's not
like
spoilers. No, you're good. Tell him.
no for him because he's not seen the anime, right? So like
No,
he
but
doesn't know.
no, but he doesn't care.
Okay, I'm smart enough. I won't remember.
Okay, cool. So, like 40 years after the attack on the air nomads, they attack the southern water. They start like doing raids of the southern water tribe, right? And so like that was when they killed Katara's mother, et cetera, et cetera. Like so, but the raid started off like they were just taking prisoners. They weren't like killing people, right? And so like they were trying to capture every waterbender, and the reason why is because like Sozin spent the rest of his life trying to find the Avatar, and
Yep.
like obviously didn't succeed because Aang was nowhere to be found. But so when Sozin's son like took on the task of finding the Avatar, his idea was that well maybe we did kill the Avatar and he
Go to
was
water.
reincarnated into the Water Tribe.
Yeah.
So then they start taking the waterbenders and trying to test them to see if they were the Avatar, and
Yep.
then they put them in that really dry like prison that Hama was in. And
Yep.
they were holding them in that cell, and then Hama develops bloodbending.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so then like Hama developing bloodbending, she then like absolutely like breaks free. She ends up posing like a huge threat to the Fire Nation, and so now the Fire Nation like realizes this whole new threat, this whole new ability, and they're like, okay, well hold on, we can't keep these people captive anymore. Like
Right.
they need to go. And so the next time that they raid the Southern Water Tribe, they are looking for Hama, and so that's why the general was like, "Hey, our intel says that there's one waterbender left, and they're looking for Hama specifically."
Right.
And so like when they get there, like Katara's mother is thinking that they're talking about Katara, but so she takes the blame, saying, "It's me. I'm the waterbender. Take me as your prisoner." And then he's like, "We're not taking prisoners this time around." So like they
Yeah.
kill her instead, and and it's interesting to see how like Hama's story was like connected to the death of Katara's mother
Yes.
because of that whole situation, and then
But you see,
yeah. Anyway, it was just
I know what
fun.
you mean. No, I know what you mean, and yeah, I would say they did a decent job carrying that on. What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
What is bloodbending?
Don't worry about it. No,
Don't worry about it.
yeah, don't worry about that. That is a very rare ability that you're not going to see in the show until like season 3.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
I like how we both said, "Don't worry about that."
I know. No, but anyway, the point is they did.
Worried about it.
Huh?
But
Wait, what'd you say, Trenton?
there,
I said, but what if I am worried about it?
you'll figure it out.
Let's stop. Wait, 1 second.
Okay. There was also there was a really good point that was made because like the name of the show is called Avatar: The Last Airbender, which indicates that Aang is the last airbender like around. And that would mean that not only did the Fire Nation successfully attack 4 highly coordinated attacks against the 4 like
No.
air nomadic temples.
Stop.
But
Actually, no. So I forgot to tell you that. They had a thing. This wasn't in the show, but they had a thing called the Comet Festival, where
right.
majority of the air nomads because there's 4 different air nomadic temples,
Right.
all 4 of them went to the southern temple.
That makes a lot more sense now.
That does
so
make a lot more sense. Yeah.
there was also a comic released. I don't know if you know about the comic. I forgot which one it was called, but there was a scene in this comic that also shows like after the initial attack, the Fire Nation deployed this technique where they like went to these caves and they set up the caves to look like an air nomad hiding place basically, and they like lured in air nomads that were like from around the world, like they were traveling, and they like to make sure that they got all of them, they lured them all in and killed them in the caves. And like
Jeez,
so like
this is
any
brutal.
stragglers, yeah, so like because like there was the idea like, well, what about the air nomads that weren't at the southern temple during the attack? And that's what happened to them. They were like lured and killed.
Oh,
I think that we should do that to people.
sorry.
I said I think that we should do that to people. Lure them in and kill them.
Nice.
Massive
Well-
amounts.
Well, okay. Let me see. There's if I had anything else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, this is kind of a nitpick, but Katara's not that pretty. Because in the show she's really pretty. In this one she's not that pretty. Again, it's a nitpick, but like I said, I love this show religiously, and dude, the first time I've ever masturbated to cartoon porn was to Katara. Okay,
What the heck?
so this is my childhood. Okay, this is
Something is wrong with you, and I love it.
What the frick?
anyway. And well, what's funny is I'm still recording. This is literally live on YouTube. I put the link in the site. So clip this.
I saw that.
Like Katara is not an adult, right? Just putting that out there.
Neither was he when the show came out.
Oh yeah, thank
Okay,
God. Yeah,
that's-
you
that's
scared
valid.
me. Yeah, you scared me. I'm like, oh shit.
That's valid.
But yeah, exactly. I wasn't a fucking adult. Yeah, thank you, Trenton. I love you. Holy shit.
But you are judging her now. So
Okay.
she's not. I was expecting her to be prettier.
Well, okay. I'm glad that I said she's not pretty, because if she's
Yeah.
not an adult,
Yeah.
I would've-
Exactly. Okay. We're good.
Wait, one
We're
second.
above. We're
Okay.
above standards.
No, thank God. Then I'm glad I didn't find her pretty, because this would have been awkward. Me recording myself. I would have said she's not pretty. Wait. But just in case, let me see. Look up like the Avatar Avenger. How old the?
Let me just double check and make sure she's legal.
And then let's talk about the age of consent in Canada. No,
Oh my god.
okay.
Why go Canada? Why not go somewhere in the Middle East?
Oh, because there's no age of consent.
Yeah.
That's what we'll make it better for you,
I know.
so that it's not something wrong that you said.
Thank you. I'll do that. Okay, let's see. Okay, by the way, the actor they use for Aang, he's actually a kid, which at first I thought it was kind of weird. I really hope they did a genetic testing on him, like, because you know if like your parents are tall or short or whatever, you're gonna be the same height as your parents. I hope this kid has a growth spurt because he's really like, you know, noticeably shorter than Qatar, and you know, Qatar and him are supposed to end up being a couple by the end of the show, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
I am praying he gets a growth spurt or something because, yeah,
He's only like 9 in this
12.
episode.
12.
The same shit.
Okay, the girl. Okay, guys, the girl that plays the Katara
Right.
was born in Canada, and she's 17. She's 17.
Specifying was born in Canada.
But she's gonna
That's
turn
great.
18 in 2 months. So you know what? I'm glad I didn't find her attractive because this would have been really awkward. But
You're,
I
you're
haven't
in
even.
Canada.
I haven't really looked at it yet. So let me take a look at the cast.
Here, I'm gonna-
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I'll put it in the side chat. But listen, she's one of those people like Madonna who has like only one name. She doesn't have like a last name and stuff. And her name is Kia Wentio.
Holy, that's a name.
That is a name. Okay, so yeah, I didn't find her attractive. Let's see.
We're good.
Old Sozin. Oh yeah, this was a good thing I found. Sozin was actually old, and that was a good thing. Like, because in the show, don't forget, Firelord Sozin was an old man when he was attacking. He wasn't a young,
Right.
which again,
Exactly.
it makes sense. So they did a good job. He was like fully white hair, like he was old, but still he had the comet's power. So you know, it made perfect sense. No issues there. There was one random drawing of Firelord that looked really weird, but I guess I don't know, it was a painting or whatever, but it looked really bad. Appa looked kind of bad in the Air Nomads, but in the South Pole, Appa looked really good. Like the snow made him look more realistic. Trenton, how'd you feel about that? You know, remember that flying bison, the big animal?
Yeah, it's Sky Bison.
Did you think he looked realistic or it looked animated? Because to me, at first, it looked kind of animated.
They kind of gave me like a what's that one movie? The Never-Ending Story vibe.
Yeah, they did. It did never ending story. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I liked it.
Oh yeah. There was a weird speech by Katara, like, when you lose everything, you appreciate what you have. Okay, that was a stupid quote. I'm sorry, because here's the thing. I get the
Oh no,
yeah. Go.
she was saying when you have to appreciate the times because when you lose everything, that's when your strength comes from. That's when that's where you learn how to fight back. Is when you have nothing else.
I get it, but it sounds kind of dumb. Like, dude, this kid had his whole, not only his friends and family, but his people genocided. And I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a little like
Yeah.
I don't know.
This
That's
will make you stronger.
I don't, like, you know what I mean. That's kind of like, imagine saying
Yeah.
that to Holocaust survivors.
If somebody were to tell that to me, if I were to wake up and somebody were to say that shit, I'd be punching somebody in the fucking throat.
I was gonna say yeah.
Disrespectful. Like
That's
everybody, his entire subspecies.
And then we're also talking about you've seen Legend of Korra too, right?
Of course, yeah. I hated it. But
Okay.
yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my biggest opinion about Legend of Korra was that it would have been significantly better if they had just rearranged the seasons.
Yes.
Right, like-
I agree. Yeah.
If like Amon being the first season, Amon was great. Like that first villain, fantastic. I loved the whole like Equalizers movement, all that stuff. That was fantastic. That one was pretty good. It was nice pace. It was like, you know, a good villain with a good like reason behind what he's doing.
Okay.
It was good.
I actually disagree, but I don't want to make this live stream about how much I hated that. But it's fine. Continue.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, it was, for my opinion, it was good. So going from there straight into Unalaq and the Dark Avatar, I was like, what the heck? Like that's like
Yeah, that was stupid.
huge escalation. And I was like, how are the next two seasons supposed to like top the Dark Avatar? Like that's crazy, right?
Yes,
So then
yeah.
they didn't, and I was like, bruh. Like, in my opinion, the order should have been It should have been Amon straight into
1342. 1342.
Yeah, it was. It should exactly. It should have been Amon, Zahir, Kovira, Unalak.
Yeah.
That should have been the order of escalation.
No, of course, because
then Unalak could have also been like helping Korra throughout the entire thing, and like it could have been dragged out along the whole way through, and it could have kept that same vibe that the first Avatar: Last Airbender series had, where like the villain was like present in the background for like the entire thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like the villain was always overlooming.
Okay, well, final rating. Let's Trenton. What would you give it out of 10?
Out of 10? Are you smoking?
This is the only time you're going to see me smoking. But yeah, what would you give it out of 10?
Is that a cigarette?
That is a cigarette.
Yeah, it is.
Are you okay?
What do you mean? This was a good show. This is a celebratory.
I just never saw you smoked. I thought your body was a temple type thing.
No. I have tattoos and I have cuts. I was constructed. Anyway, what would you give it out of 10? What would you give the first episode?
Out of 10, I'd say like a 7.5.
Damn, really? That's much lower than I thought you were gonna go.
That's a lower score than you thought I was gonna go?
Yeah, I give it like a 9.5. I think it was I think it was like.
Well, I'm not.
But no, wait. Just so you know, the only issue I have, and Coco, you gotta listen to this, because you missed it at the beginning. I thought they did a really good job. The only thing I'm scared of is if they girl power it. I'm really scared they're gonna girl power it because, like, remember in the original show, they did a really good job fighting against sexism and all that. Like,
yeah,
like
yes.
they had the water tribe not allow women to fight, while the Fire Nation allowed anybody to fight. You know what I mean? As long as you're a strong fighter, they let you fight. They don't care if you're a man, woman.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that made the Fire Nation stronger, because they went with, we don't care if you're a man or woman, whoever's strong. Well, the Water Nation, they were like, no women. And that's one of the reasons you could see they were weak. That's a good message. Well, and in this one, I'm kind of scared they're going to girl power, because they kind of had a lot of focus on Avatar Kyoshi. And I'm like, Avatar Kyoshi, it should be Aang and Roku. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They did mention that, like, okay, so Sokka also started off with like a mild amount of sexism, at the least. And like Sokka had like that similar mentality of like, women should not be warriors kind of thing. And like he went through this whole like character growth, and like developed and changed his opinions after he met the Kyoshi warriors. And like, then when it came time for him to see how things were going on in the North tribe, right? Like they're like, and then he's like, wait a minute, like, no, I grew out of this, so like they should not, like, he's like, wait, this is actually wrong. Like I shouldn't have thought like this. That's like so the character growth arc for Sokka shouldn't be removed. Like it was a huge integral part of Sokka. So like I'm hoping that they kept his sexist mindset for the beginning of his character.
Actually, surprisingly, they didn't. And you know what's funny? I thought they were gonna, like, at first shove that in our throat, because it would have made sense to shove that, because that is Sokka. Sokka is pretty sexist, and then throughout the show, he becomes better. But I'm kind of scared. While they tone back Sokka's sexism, they're gonna uptake Kyoshi. I'm so scared they're gonna make Kyoshi like, oh, she's the greatest. Mark my words. And that's, I thought, again, the beginning they did a really good job, and I was super critical. I even nitpicked Katara's not being pretty enough. Okay, like I was critical. That's why we get like I give her a 9 out of 10. And oh yeah, another bonus. I forgot to say this. They had Aang and Iroh talk about the war. That was such, because when they captured Aang, put him in prison.
Yeah.
And then Aang was like, why is the Fire Nation doing this? Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna spoil it. You should watch it.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, Aang was like, do you think this was a good idea? And then Iroh just said, okay, I'm going to go. I will make you some tea. And then I was like, damn, they're touching on that. That Iroh, he's not pro-war, I'm like, damn, they're actually, that was good. They actually went there.
So when you're rating this episode, are you rating it in comparison to the show?
Mhm.
Or are you comparing it, or are you just rating it in general?
Oh, both. I'm general and comparing it.
They're both a 9?
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, this is 1 hour, while the show's first episode was 20 minutes. So, they did have to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the reason I give it a 7.5 is because, like, I don't know, I didn't really know what to think going in, like, starting it.
Right.
I have, like, nothing to compare it to, I guess.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
it's overall, it's a good first episode.
Okay. No, that's fair. I mean, the whole thing's only going to be 8 episodes. Wait a minute. 8 times... What is it, 60 minutes? That's 480 minutes. While the first one was 20 times 20 minutes. That's 400 minutes. Wait a minute. The first season of the show is going to be longer than the first season of... Whoa. What the fuck? Wait. This is going to be long?
What I'm hearing, though, is we have enough minutes to watch it before I go to work in the morning.
Well, we're going to watch it. I mean, I want to watch an episode a day.
Episode a day. How do you, like...
Patient.
I don't know, if I wait a day in between watching an episode and the next episode, I have no idea what's going on in the episode I just watched.
Well, this is why literally we're spending 30 minutes recapping the whole thing. I'm sure you're gonna remember this.
We'll see. You heard him.
Why do you always leave me in charge of remembering things?
Okay,
So that's not how my brain works.
if you want, we can watch episode 2 right now, but we'll save episode 3 for tomorrow.
No, we can. I'll try it your way.
No, because I don't mind going 2 because I'm kind of curious now because this is going to be longer than the actual show. Dude, the original show was 400 minutes. This is going to be 480 minutes. They're going to go longer. Coco, you there?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
how much of that is credits and how much of that is...
Okay, fine. Let's say... Oh, good point. Let's say like 10 minutes per credits. Okay, that's 80 minutes. Okay, so it's going to be 400 minutes.
Well, I wouldn't say 10 minutes for credits. I mean, opening credits were like probably 30 seconds, right? And then ending credits, probably I would give it max 2 minutes, right? I don't think they would go like above 2 minutes for credits at the ending of each episode. People don't have patience for that.
Have you ever watched any of the Marvel movies?
Oh yeah, but that's different. That's for movies. But like for Netflix shows, you're not going to go through a whole Marvel movie. Long
There was like 2 minutes. There was 2 minutes alone of the dubbed versions in the credits on the first episode.
Yeah, which I could see a couple of minutes, right? But I wouldn't say 10 minutes. Like I wouldn't say it'd be like a movie feature length credits at the end of every episode. That'd be kind of wild.
No.
We'll have to time it on this next episode.
Okay, yeah. So I don't mind. Do you want to watch the second episode? Actually, like
I'm down.
I mean, yeah. By the way, just so you're never gonna see me smoke again. Just so you know.
Ever?
Well, maybe, but
I feel like he's lying to you.
I feel like he's like a heavy smoker. Every time the camera's not on, he's just fucking sitting there, just chain smoking right on the other side of the camera.
No, because actually, I have never purchased a smoke since 2020. Like, I've actually quit purchasing. The only time I ever smoke is if somebody like on the streets would give me one or something.
How did you get the cigarette you just had?
Somebody gave it to me yesterday. I just kept it until now.
You can hold on to a cigarette. I can't even hold on to a pack of cigarettes for a day.
That's why I never buy.
Speaking of,
Because
I need to go get some.
Do you have money?
That's my
You want to use my money to go buy cigarettes?
yeah.
Anyway,
I'll get a pack too.
Coco, yeah.
Yes.
Too. I don't know my.
Coco, do you want to watch the second episode with us?
Over there.
I want to watch the first episode first.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to but I don't want to make you guys rewatch the first episode.
I have to go get cigarettes, so
No, we're not gonna rewatch it. Right?
that's gonna be a 5-10 minute journey in itself.
So
Okay, Coco.
First episode.
Do you want to watch? You watch the first episode, and then when you're done, we'll all watch the second episode with you. Is that good?
I don't have the website.
It's on
I might need a link.
I will give you the link of the illegal website when I'm not streaming. And,
Yeah.
And you guys, please subscribe.
It's on Netflix.
Please subscribe. Even if you're not gonna watch me, just subscribe to my YouTube. Okay, thank you. So so you down? You're gonna watch the first episode right now, and then we'll wait for you, and then we'll watch the second episode right now.
How long is it? Isn't the first episode an hour?
It is.
So you guys are gonna wait a whole hour?
Yeah, because we're just gonna masturbate.
You're gonna what?
Nothing.
I think I heard that right, but I was like, wait a minute.
But do you down?
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that. I can even do a little. Is it fine if I use that link to do a watch party with a couple of my friends, or should I keep it under wraps?
Oh. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I just want to check, but see if it's a thing,
No, it's actually thanks to Trenton. He gave me another website, so so even if that illegal website gets exposed, I have a good backup plan. But,
Okay.
it's
I don't want
Also on
to do anything.
Also, it's
Go
on
ahead.
Netflix. It is on Netflix as well.
It's on Netflix already now, or is it
Yeah.
not released? Oh,
Oh, then
I
okay.
could just watch it on
Yeah,
Netflix.
Then okay.
It's on Netflix. If you have Netflix, that's the legal way to watch it.
Oh. Okay, well, that makes it easy. I've got my Netflix open. I got it open right now. The first
This could've
episode is.
been solved 10 minutes ago had you been
I
listening
said
to it.
that. I said that 5 times, and you guys just kept going. So I was like, if they want to watch it illegally.
That is a really good point. Okay.
Oh man.
Well then, yeah. Overall.
All right, I'll go and watch it, and then I'll come back.
Okay, sure. So overall, I think 9 out of 10. I'm just worried about girl power, but other than that, yeah, they did a good job. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Damn, you have a lot of subscribers.
Oh, thank you. Well, not really,
It's
but thank you.
459 more than I have.
Well, thank you.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay.